year around the peninsula, I'm Senior Airman Taylor West. You might not be a pro golfer, but there's always a way to show off your skills. Follow Catoosa Private Lee Jin Woo to a putt-putt golf event and be a daily Tiger Woods.
If the whole golf course is too much for you, how about playing a mini 18-hole putting course? At the Yongsan Golf Driving Range, participants of the putt-putt golf event focus on the ball and compete to win the round.
This putt-putt course is very fun and adventurous. If you have time to come out, play. It's very calming, and it's a good place for social gatherings if you ever want to come out and enjoy a good day outside.
Soldiers representing each unit can come to the mini course and play putt-putt golf for free as part of the 101 Days of Summer event. The course looks quite difficult at first, but even the first-time players can learn the game fast and make a birdie or an eagle.
As the game went on, I got a little bit better. At first, I thought I was kind of very hesitant to shoot, but as the game went on, I was getting in the groove and feeling better about my confidence.
Catoosa Private Lee Jin Woo, Yongsan, Korea.
You can join the putt-putt golf event on July 14th and August 3rd in the Yongsan Golf Driving Range. Since 2010, Casey Elementary School has been providing education to U.S. military children in Area 1. Sergeant First Class Chris Roberts brings us to the school's final ceremony, ending 6 years of education and closing Casey Elementary.
Usually when schools close, it's for the summer, and teachers and students alike get to enjoy some time off. But for the Casey schools in Area 1, it is time to say goodbye for good.
What I saw here at Casey was caring parents and administrators and teachers that help raise great kids, and really a critical part of community wellness was really represented here at Casey School.
Still, the students themselves express the bittersweetness of their school closing.
The closing of Casey kind of makes me sad because I'm going to miss all my friends next year.
Although they might not be able to visit their memorable school again, they will never forget being alumni of the Casey Elementary Wolves. Reporting from Camp Casey, Korea, I am Army Sergeant First Class Chris Roberts.
Casey Elementary was the first Dodia school to serve students in Area 1 in South Korea. From Hollywood to Bollywood, from the North Pole to the South Pole, sailors are working across the Pacific Fleet every day. I will introduce Chinhae Naval Base, where these hardworking sailors are given the chance to ask their burning questions. Pacific Fleet Commander Admiral Scott Swift addressed members of Chinhae Naval Base to share his appreciation for the sailors' consistent hard work and efforts towards the fleet.
I get to look across the contributions of the entire fleet, and it's made up of your individual contributions, what we do together every day. But it's those individual contributions that you're making that may be small in your mind, but the cumulative effect is felt across the entire fleet.
The Admiral also took this time to address personal questions and concerns that the sailors may have in regards to not only Chinhae, but the overall Navy as well. Senior Airman Taylor West, Chinhae Naval Base, Korea. There are 140,000 uniform and civilian sailors that report to the Pacific Fleet. Accepting difference may not be easy. Army Sergeant Matt Cromer introduces us to students from Seoul American Middle School actively working to change that.
At Seoul American Middle School, or SAMS, there is a group of students battling against discrimination. They have formed a club that encourages students to open up about their differences in a friendly environment.
Well, Diversity Club is basically about LGBT and different races, but this month is LGBT Pride, because we've noticed that there are some kids at our school who are LGBT and don't feel comfortable about talking about it, but we've kind of made this group to make them feel okay, and just if they're being called a name, they could just come and talk to us.
To emphasize the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender Pride Month, they have come up with a rainbow-colored bracelet that holds many meanings.
They're just different colors to show that it doesn't matter if you're LGBT or you're a different race or something else. You can just be a different color and it doesn't matter.
Army Sergeant Matt Cromer, Yongsan, Korea.
The bracelets are available to anyone visiting the Seoul American Middle School. With the school year coming to a close, it's time for students to get ready for summer fun. Air Force Staff Sergeant Darren Murphy takes us to Osan Air Base, where volunteers are helping the kids get ready for summer break.
From obstacle courses to the classic colorful parachute, The Osan Elementary School students got a great taste of their upcoming summer break. Help came from all over the base, with over 80 volunteers from various squadrons taking time out of their busy schedules to interact with the students.
Man, we love doing events like this. It gets the kids involved, gets us out in the public, everybody sees what we get to do. It's not all about training and all that stuff. We get out here, have a good time, get the kids involved. Maybe they want to grow up and be a firefighter one day.
With a ton of fun activities throughout the day, one student found her favorite part of the day early in the morning.
My favorite part was spraying the water, and so you had to hit down the cone and spray it, then you just run and then you go up down the side.
Air Force Staff Sergeant Darren Murphy, Osan Air Base, Korea.
For summer programs in your community, contact your local youth or teen center. What used to be known as Korea's Camp Humphreys continues to be transformed into U.S. Army Garrison Humphreys, which will be the size of Washington, D.C. when completed. Senior Airman Sidney Manning says as the current phase of construction is wrapping up, some inquiring minds are dropping by to get a sneak peek at their future digs.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Far East Division, or FED, will soon be moving from U.S. Army Garrison Yongsan to Humphreys, an installation currently in transformation. Members of the FED family couldn't wait to see where they'll be living and working next year, and so their Sergeant Major made sure they didn't have to.
Our purpose here today is to give the employees, the Far East District employees, a chance to tour the new facilities, both the headquarters as the maintenance vehicles facility.
Having seen their future home firsthand, these members of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers can report back to their Far East family and be better prepared for their own upcoming transformation. Senior Airman Sidney Manning, U.S. Army Garrison Humphreys, Korea.
The U.S. Army Garrison Humphreys transformation is projected to take 3 to 5 years once complete. Once it's done, it will be the largest U.S. overseas military installation in the world. There's a park for remembering the 1988 Seoul Olympic Games, and it's also combined with historical sites. I'm going to introduce you to this special place. The spirit of the 1988 Seoul Olympics continues as you pass through the Peace Gate at Olympic Park. Commemorative monuments and participating nations' flags serve as a reminder to the glory of the Games. There are many beautiful sculptures arranged throughout the park to fit harmoniously within the surroundings. Mungcheon Moat and Lake is located around the ancient Mungcheon Sand Fortress. The fortress is the historical landmark of Korea. This is an example of how the park was combined with the old heritage. There are many walking paths that lead to the beautiful gardens full of wildflowers. You can even stop and smell the roses at the Rose Garden. The park contains several gymnasiums and stages that host various sporting and cultural events. Senior Airman Taylor West, Seoul, Korea. Olympic Park is built on what was once a major fortress of the Korean ancient dynasty named Baekje. Korea will host the Winter Olympics in 2018. That was your Around the Peninsula for this week. To see these stories and others, go to the AFN Pacific website or view them through the AFN Pacific app. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.
Fever, rash, joint pain, and red eyes are all symptoms caused by the Zika virus disease.
The Zika virus is contracted by those who are exposed to the mosquitoes that contain the Zika virus. These mosquitoes are found mostly in the tropical regions. Brazil is the area that we see it mostly, but we also see it in Central America and northern part of South America. There's also areas in the Pacific that have the Zika virus. So if you're stung by a mosquito that contains the Zika virus, then there's a good chance you may contract the disease.
The disease may not have serious consequences for adults, but it may be fatal for unborn babies. If a pregnant woman is bit by a mosquito carrying the Zika virus, it can be passed on to the fetus and possibly lead to birth defects such as microcephaly, which is where the baby is born with a small head and brain defects. The best way to prevent the infection is by not getting bit by mosquitoes. When outdoors, use insect repellents, wear long sleeves, and soldiers who are in the field should wear specially treated uniforms. Army Sergeant Ryan Sharp, Seoul, Korea.